Tonight's headlines: return to pre-pandemic economy not possible amid lockdowns, says Palace. PNP Intel Group to monitor candidates. Coronavirus cases in the country at 2,632,881. NCR mayors want one school per city in pilot face-to-face classes. LPA develops into tropical depression Maring. And stock slip on profit-taking. Good evening. Today is Thursday, October 7, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. Malacanang said that the Philippine economy will not return to pre-pandemic levels amid lockdowns meant to curb the spread of COVID-19. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque issued a statement after Nikkei Asia ranked the Philippines at the bottom of its COVID-19 recovery index, which evaluates more than 120 countries worldwide on infection management, vaccine rollouts, and social mobility. The ranking comes after the Philippines also took last place in Bloomberg's COVID-19 resilience rankings for September, with the international site calling the country the worst place to be in during the pandemic. The government has been ramping up vaccination efforts to help facilitate economic recovery, and around 22.4 million Filipinos have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But it is still far from the government's target of inoculating 77.1 million individuals who belong to the target population. Philippine National Police Chief Police General Guillermo Eleazar on Thursday ordered the intelligence group to check 2022 national election candidates with the history and the potential to sow violence. Eleazar said that the PNP will ensure honest, peaceful, and orderly elections as it conducts its aggressive campaign against loose firearms and private armed groups nationwide. He also instructed all unit commanders to prepare election security plans in their areas as they expect the political rivalries will heat up at the local level after the filing of the certificate of candidacy. Citing its data, the PNP said that almost all the past election-related violence stemmed from intense political rivalries of candidates vying for local posts, which include clashes among the supporters. The Department of Health reported 10,019 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Thursday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 2,632,881. This brought the active cases to 115,328, and of the total, 77.1% are mild, 13.6% are asymptomatic, 2.7% are severe, and 1.2% are in critical condition. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 2,478,616 after 7,425 patients recovered from the deadly disease. The death toll is now at 38,937, following with 109 fatalities recorded. Data from the DOH also show that 72% of the country's intensive care unit beds are utilized, while 51% of the mechanical ventilators are also in use. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Magpabakuna kayo.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Vaccination, isolation, gotta keep up with my nutrition, gotta maintain my body condition, then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay na. Babakuna ka ba, 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 babakuna ka ba. Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba, 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 babakuna ka ba. Paturok, paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Magpabakuna kayo.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
In other news, National Capital Region mayors have asked the Department of Education to allow one school per city or municipality to be included in the pilot implementation of face-to-face classes amid the pandemic. DepEd Undersecretary Nepomuceno Malaluan said the local executives made the appeal during their meeting last week, adding that the department is open to the idea. No NCR school was included in the DepEd's initial list of 59 public schools that will take part in the pilot face-to-face classes for failing to pass the assessment of the Department of Health. Malaluan said nominated schools will have to undergo the review of the DOH before being included in the list. NCR remains among the regions in the country with the highest number of cases, even as its reproduction rate of cases is slowing down. State Weather Bureau Pagasa announced that the low-pressure area east of Camarines Norte has developed into a tropical depression. In its 5 p.m. severe weather bulletin, Pagasa said the tropical depression has been named Maring. The center of Maring was located 505 kilometers east of Virac, Catanduanes at 4 p.m. with maximum sustained winds of 45 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 55 kilometers per hour. It is moving south-southwestward at 15 kilometers per hour. Pagasa said the trough of Maring may bring light to moderate with at times heavy rains over eastern Visayas, and in the next 24 hours, moderate to rough seas will prevail over the seaboards of Luzon and the eastern and western seaboards of Visayas and Mindanao. And in business, the local stock barometer finished Thursday in the negative territory as investors trooped back to the U.S. and other Asian bourses, but the peso gained against the U.S. dollar. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index shed 106.15 points or 1.50% to 6,951.30 at the closing bell. The broader all shares also slid by 54.29 points or 1.23% to 4,354.85. Regina Capital Development Corporation head of sales Luis Limningan said that investors returned to the U.S. and the rest of Asia while profit-taking in the Philippine markets as lawmakers gained headway on the debt ceiling debate, and the 10-year Treasury note yield neared 1.5%. Volume totaled 1.40 billion shares, amounting to 13.17 billion pesos. Decliners surpassed advancers at 137 to 62, while 46 shares were unchanged. Meanwhile, the peso gained against the US dollar after finishing the trade at 50.56 from 50.88 a day ago. That wraps up the stories tonight, and before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of the Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Magpabakuna kayo.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Comfy Manalo, Chinky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas ng mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments dito sa ating programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Magpabakuna kayo.
Ayon sa World Bank, tinatayang 4.8 hanggang 12.7 milyong toneladang plastic ang sumisira sa ating karagatan taon-taon. Halos 80% nito ang nanggagaling sa Asya. Sa buong mundo, ang Pilipinas ay itinuturing na pangatlong pinakamalaking nagdudulot ng polusyon sa karagatan. Ang nakalalasong kemikal mula sa plastic ay di lamang kumukontamina sa karagatan, ngunit pati na rin sa hanging nilalanghap at lupang ginagalawan natin. Kung magpapatuloy ang kasalukuyang paggamit ng single-use plastics, sa taong 2050, mas marami na ang plastic kumpara sa mga isda na nasa ating mga karagatan. Dahil dito, mas pinaiigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya laban sa paggamit ng single-use plastics. Nanganganib ang ating planeta. Iisa lang ito. Lahat tayo ay dapat kumilos sa lalong madaling panahon upang pangalagaan ito. Tama na ang plastikan.